Hey everyone, Jay here.
Sean here.
And we're talking about the show that everyone is talking about. Yes, a show, quite a departure for people who are always watching movies. But it is a new series on Netflix called Tiger King. So it seems like everyone and their great aunt was watching this series this week while we're all self-isolating at home, and us included. Right, Sean?
That's right. We did turn it on and we could not
turn it off. That's right. It is, it's a cliche, but it is a train wreck that you just can't take your eyes off of. It is a documentary series, i.e. a real life story that you wouldn't believe if you made a movie out of it, and yet these people exist in real life. They walked among us, and it's insane.
It is insane.
Like the actual insane. Insanity, insane.
All of them are. Like, it's not even just one crazy person.
No,
it's
everyone involved. Like, nobody comes off looking even remotely human.
There are no heroes. There are
no. So, a quick rundown in case, I don't know. Did a bookcase collapse on you this week and you couldn't reach the remote? I don't know what your excuse is for not having watched Tiger King. I mean, if you haven't seen it, see it. You gotta see this. You gotta see this. It's like the thing we're experiencing all together as a world, because we're all trapped at home and we are fascinated by this other kind of end of the world scenario. So again, real life person. The Tiger King is a real life person who, runs a zoo. What he likes to call a zoo. But it's really just a fairly big backyard full of tigers in really sad enclosures. And perhaps it started out that he just loved big kitties, but really what he loves is himself and stardom. He really thinks this is going to be his claim to fame. He develops this persona. He did like a YouTube show where he practically was streaming every day. He never had cameras off of him. He was rolling all the time, even though there's a lot of unflattering stuff out there. And he's this just crazy guy who's like wearing an unironic leather vest with fringe, and he's got a mullet, and he's like the hickiest hick you've ever seen in your life. And he's gay. So he's got a flair for hillbillydom that you've never seen before and you'll probably never see again. You have to check this guy out. He really, if you haven't seen purple sequined leopard print, and believe me, this guy has a closet full of this stuff. It is awesome and ridiculous. And yeah, he's just bigger than life, thinks he's Brad Pitt level famous in the tiger world, and he kind of is. Like all these other tiger weirdos are watching him, and people who don't like what he's doing with tigers are watching him. So they give him the kind of attention that, that's the kind of feedback he's receiving. So he thinks he really is a super guy, superhero. So, and he's attracted like a whole circus full of nut bars to work with him, and they're all drinking the Kool-Aid. Nobody thinks this is weird. They all just think this is a normal life they're leading, and it's the most insane thing you've ever seen. I can't believe it. Meanwhile, it's not across town, wherever, another place in the States, because of course they're American, and this only could happen in America. Another Tiger King. I don't even remember exactly what he calls himself. Well, I know what it means, though. The name he calls himself, and wants all of his sister wives to call him, by the way, to call him Lord. Because he's not just the Tiger King, he's the Tiger Lord. Oh my gosh, this guy has a harem. Like, the tigers are really just accessories for his harem, I think.
Yeah.
And so he has a whole, but his business expenses include so many breast augmentations, like boob jobs on the books, like all the babes in bikinis with blonde hair and flotation devices with the tigers. It's so ridiculous. And he's like the normal one in the tiger community. So he's very jealous of the Tiger King, and there's this big rivalry, and meanwhile there's this woman who also has a tiger kingdom of her own, except for she's for animal rights. So she thinks all the tiger people except her should close down, which, I mean, bless her soul, she really thinks she's doing good, even though when you look at her operations, they look exactly the same as everyone else's. Anyway, so she has a huge feud with the Tiger King, and it turns criminal. You just can't even believe it. You have to check it out. Yes. You have to check it out. Because really, even the Lord Ponytail guy who has the harem of wives, the Tiger King himself has a harem of husbands. Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. It's sad, and yet you can't help but laugh, and it's ridiculous, and you don't really want to believe that these people exist in the real world, except for they're real people. Oh my gosh. So anyways, you must check it out. You just have to check it out.
You have to.
Not least because you'll want to have informed yourself before the movie hits theaters. Now, okay, we're not breaking any big story here. I don't know if anybody's doing movie deals right now, but I would not be surprised if somebody has bought up these rights, because the entire world is talking about this, and because some big stars are throwing their hats in the ring to play these characters.
These are juicy parts.
Oh boy.
They want a piece.
I mean, they are juicy parts. They are not glamorous or flattering parts.
But they're awesome.
But this does have the potential, even on a mockumentary basis, I'd love to get Christopher Guest on this. It feels like it was written by, you just can't believe this is real. This is pushed so much further than anything Christopher Guest has even put together, because it's just...
Well, as you said, you can't get away with this if you're writing it as fiction.
That's right. They had to come out with a documentary first just to prove,
this is a real thing.
We're allowed to do this because it really did happen. So the first I heard of it, guys, Edward Norton and Dax Shepard were duking it out to see which of them would get to play the Tiger King. Now, let's recap. He's got a dyed blonde mullet. He's got real big belt buckles, bolo ties. He loves to do music videos. Did we forget to mention that?
We did forget to mention that.
He also thinks he's a country tiger singer.
He has multiple albums. With 10 or more music videos included on each of them.
Beyonce has nothing on this guy. I just can't. So really, I mean, I don't though. I think both of those guys,
they could both do it.
Are plausible. Yeah, they could do it.
I think so.
Yes. Now, Kate McKinnon has, I think, thrown her own hat in the ring to play the crazy animal rights. Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins, yeah.
That, I mean, doesn't translate as physically, but, Kate McKinnon is God. She is the Lord. She could do it. She could do anything.
She would, yeah. And
that's exactly the kind of energy I'm going to want from this movie. Yes. It's just, boy. Now, we didn't even get into this, but I told you this turns criminal. And one of the criminals turns snitch. Now, he has a fabulous haircut. I think he accidentally got a lesbian haircut. Or on purpose, I don't know. He's a mystery man. There was a terrific scene of him on a jet ski. That's how you'll know him, if not from his lesbian haircut. Definitely, it's a jet ski moment for the ages. And Fortune Feimster has been nominated to play that role. Again, she didn't. I hate to say this because I love her. She is hilarious. We love our podcast with her wife. She's wonderful. I would like to see her in this role if she's okay with it. I mean, I know she's okay with it because she retweeted this. She was like, all right. So that is why, again, apologies to Ike Barinholtz, but we think we are going to nominate him to play one of the husbands. The shirtless, toothless one. That's how you'll know which one we mean. I don't know. Does he have fewer shirts or fewer teeth?
Oh, well, he's got 0 shirts, and he does have
he has at least one tooth. Yeah. So, I mean, Ike Barinholtz is a terrific guy. He's super talented. He is much too handsome for this role, and yet I don't think it's beneath him. I think he would embrace such a thing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes.
I hope so.
So all we have left is the rival tiger guy with the harem.
Yeah.
So who did we think?
I thought maybe Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, that's
So this guy has a killer ponytail.
He does, and it's like a white ponytail. Oh boy. I mean, he does think he's super special.
Yes.
You know, he does think he's Lord. He is the master of his universe, and he says that without cracking up, and I can't even say it without cracking up. Oh boy. I mean, these are all juicy parts. You can't lose if you are in this thing.
That's the thing about Tiger King. There are no non-stop one crazy character after another.
Yeah.
There's so many that, like, 5 or 6 episodes in, one of them will just pop back up, and you're like, it's
how
been
have I
so
not
crazy.
Seen this person?
I forgot about
but
this.
But they're getting back into the fray because they had more crazy, and it just had to get out.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's exciting. It really is exciting. So if you are like us, you binge this series hard, and now you're so sad that it's over. I have 2 movies that I wanted to suggest to you if you liked The Tiger King as much as we did. Here are some movies that you could keep the fun going with. So first of all, if you love the stupid criminal aspect of this, and who doesn't, I'm going to suggest The Legend of Cocaine Island. So that is a Netflix original documentary, so it should be available on your Netflix. It is in Netflix Canada. I'm sorry I can't look all of them up for you. But, I mean, this is the epitome of stupid criminals. I mean, they're not even, like, criminals. It's insane. This is, again, a documentary, so it is a true story. I have to say this, like, nobody can believe it. From Florida, from Central Florida, where I think America hides a lot of their crazy people.
Not, they're hiding in plain sight a lot.
For sure, yeah. No, often they're wearing a t-shirt that points it out rather clearly. I have found they're self-identifying a lot of the time. Check out their bumper stickers and believe them. So there's just kind of like a local legend, a hippie guy who's always telling the story about 10 or 15, or he's always a little fuzzy about how long ago it was now that he lived in Puerto Rico. And one day he's walking along the beach and he sees like a big stuffed duffel bag bobbing along in the water. So he reels it in, opens it up, and he's disappointed that it's not cash, to be honest. But it is 35 kilograms of cocaine. So I mean,
it's cash equivalent.
Yes, it is. So he brings it home, but he's a little nervous about having this much coke on hand.
Some people are a little bit skittish.
Yes. So he's sure he doesn't want to go to the cops because he's sure he'll get blamed or something will happen. So he hides it, and then he doubts the hiding space, hides it again, ends up burying it. And then he leaves Puerto Rico and never goes back. So he loves telling people about this buried cocaine that he's got in Puerto Rico, and it's, with inflation, got to be worth a couple mil at least. And it's, his little nest egg that he tells everybody about. And then the recession hits. That real life recession in like 2008-ish hits. And suddenly a lot of people who heard that story start thinking of it a little less as a story and more as a retirement plan. And somebody decides to go. So off they go to Puerto Rico with a shovel and not enough of a plan, if you ask me. They're never as easy as they seem they're going to be when you're drinking a lot of beer and making plans. And these are not really criminals. They're not drug dealers. So, how are they going to turn the drugs into cash? How are they going to smuggle it back to the US to even do that? These are all good questions, and probably they should have thought of them before they went. But anyways, you're gonna want to check this one out. Don't learn anything more about it than that. Just go in and be surprised, because you will be surprised. It's wonderful that way. So the second movie is, if you really like the aspect of Tiger King where just men are getting awfully familiar with animals we know to be dangerous. It takes a special kind of someone to try to make wild animals your pets. Yes, a special kind of someone. So the second movie you might want to check out, it's, I think, from 2005. It's a film by Werner Herzog, a legendary documentarian. We did see it on Amazon Prime, is that right?
We did, yes. It is on Amazon Prime, again, at least in Canada. Yes,
so it's called Grizzly Man. If you haven't seen it, check it out. If you have seen it, make somebody else watch it. It's like, it's one of the purest joys in life is to spring that movie on someone. My goodness, you will not stop thinking about it for days and days and days. Again, this guy, a true story, a real life person named Timothy Treadwell, who has a lot in common with the Tiger King. I can't believe they didn't meet, and then again, maybe they have met. We don't know. Gosh, if there was a crossover series. So this guy just loves bears. He loves bears so much. He films his own footage again he believes somebody is really gonna want this TV show that he is making with his very amateur equipment.
In a way, he was right.
In a way, yes. So let's say he goes up to Alaska. It sounds like northern bear population. We live in Canada, so that feels like everywhere here. But let's say he goes up to Alaska and just decides to live among his friends, the bears. And just like the Tiger King, he really gets familiar with them. He really believes they're not just that they're buddies, but you can tell, has almost anthropomorphized them in his head. He's given them names. Oh boy, he's overly familiar with bears. And do you know what happens when you get really close to a bear? I mean, you'd think that people who know a lot about bears would know that about bears. But Timothy did not believe it would happen to him. So again, you know what? Don't know anything more about this. Just look it up. Rent it if you have to. It's worth the $5, I promise. You want to see this movie. You need it in your life. You need to tell everyone about it. Because it's really fun to just ruin someone's life by making them watch this movie. No, it's great. It's really great. Really great.
It is fascinating.
Yes. So again, if you loved Tiger King, you're gonna like this one. You need to see it. And we need to start looking a little more closely at the whack jobs we know. These people, it's so absurd. How can you exist? How can you have lived in the same world that I do and yet have these crazy, crazy, crazy beliefs? I don't know. I don't get it, and yet I find you endlessly fascinating.
Thank you for the 8 hours of entertainment.
Yes. But just, Tiger King did not, it doesn't end well for anyone maybe, but...
No.
I don't know. Is there a lesson to be learned here?
Maybe.
Maybe. But people won't learn it, and that's the kind of great thing.
No, well, I think if you need Tiger King to teach you a lesson, it's too late for you.
It's too late. Yes. Here's the thing.
These are basic lessons that.
And these are
you're
all
supposed to already
Americans. Have we really like said that enough time? Yeah. There's a common trait. There's a few common traits, but I mean, it's the country where your wildest dreams can come true. And there are some pretty fucking wild dreams. Yeah. Super wild dreams. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Go watch Tiger King. Tell everybody about it. Watch those other 2 movies. There's a lot of good stuff out there. And yeah, you get to watch it and feel a little bit better about your own life.
Hopefully.
You may have made some mistakes. You may have made some mistakes.
But not like this.
But not like this. Oh boy. Yeah, this is wild stuff, guys. Thanks for watching.